cherished, holy creation of God. To accept that you are cherished is to accept the natural state of holy union. That you are cherished as the divine truth of love. And in this divine truth of love, there are no differences. There are no ones better or less, having more or having less. There is nothing that distinguishes the heart from the wholeness of love. There is nothing that can distinguish one exquisite beauty of love from another. There is no other. There is one heart, one holiness, one light, one creation. All of the imaginings of trying to establish worth are all futile. They will never lead to the awareness of harmony and peace and joy. So the divine love itself calls to humanity to drop the sword, drop the battle, drop the trying to prove anything, to get anything, to keep anything. The willingness in the moment, in every moment, is to accept holy union. That everything that is being seen and heard and felt through the body senses is coming through a filter of separation. And the willingness to no longer believe in and put faith and trust in a self-made perception of the world and of yourself. The willingness to accept the wholeness, and that the wholeness is the holiness. Nothing separate. This cannot be understood. This is for acceptance. This is for invitation. It is through your invitation and your acceptance of the wholeness of love that you enter into the awareness of that wholeness of love. It is not through trying to discern it, figure it out with a mind that has separated itself from wholeness in the belief that there is a separate self, that there is a separate life. And that there is even progress, that there is accomplishment, that there is a need to win in any way, but willing that everything of love is here in this present moment. There's nothing missing. And when there is a perception of lack, when there is a perception of separation, that is only the construct of separation, the belief that separation is true. You can believe it for 1,000,000 years, it doesn't make it true. It just holds you in a false imprisonment of aloneness, and of life and death. In every moment, you have this exquisite opportunity, exquisite, perfect opportunity to remember love, to bring all intention to the remembering of love, to bring full intention as fully as possible within your heart to every moment that you want only to see love, that you want only to hear love, that you want only to be aware of the truth of love. That willingness is the journey of remembering. In this moment, finding the willingness of the heart to surrender this day everything and anything that you perceived about this day, all the habits, all the likes and dislikes, all the conclusions, all the appraisals, all the worries, everything that took your attention from wholeness today. The opportunity in this moment to surrender it into the hands of God and find the willingness of the heart to find the strength that you're no longer willing to participate in the belief of lack, in the belief of separation, in the belief of limitation, in the belief of scarcity. You're no longer willing to participate. And then you rest. You rest in the confidence that this is all in the hands of God. That you have surrendered your life, your day, your concepts, the images that you have made of the world. You surrendered it, and you allow the power of love to transform and release everything that has been made up into love itself. This is the offering of love to humanity. This is the offering of love to all creation, that you are willing to live in truth, that you are willing to live in harmony and peace, and that you are willing to merge and melt into one heart. Willing, just willing. In this moment, finding the willingness to breathe. Breathing fully and deeply. Focusing on the breath, focusing on the truth of love, focusing on your divine intention. As you breathe in the truth of love, and on the out breath, let go of all that's been made up. Breathing in harmony, accepting harmony, and breathing out disharmony. All the concepts of knowing anything, figuring anything out, making sense of anything, reasoning anything. Letting it all go into the arms of love and breathing. Breathing into every cell, every molecule, with the intention of every cell and every molecule being filled with light and having no interference with the concepts of separation. the yes. And breathing into the crown chakra. Breathing into the crown chakra, inviting everything to open into the truth of love. Letting go of the mind, surrendering the mind into the hands of God. Wanting the mind to be filled with the truth of love, the harmony and peace and joy. Singing in love. Breathing into the throat, inviting the throat to open, inviting and receiving love as a true natural state. Breathing into the neck, surrendering the neck, any holdings of any kind, any idea that there is a you that has to run anything, figure out anything, protect anything, defend anything. Aligning with love. Breathing into the shoulders, the back, arms and hands, letting everything be released into love. And breathing into the spine, inviting the spine to open, undefended. Nothing to protect, nothing to defend. And as you breathe, focusing on this moment, staying present and alert here, even as you breathe and relax, just allowing God to speak through the heart. Breathing into the heart, inviting the heart to open, undefended. In this moment, allowing the heart to come forward, open and available. Physically, inviting the heart to come forward as if there was a magnet in front of the heart, pulling the heart to open in this moment, actually feeling the pull of the magnet to make the heart open because it's what you truly want. Notice if you're pulled back. Notice if you have the intention of coming forward, open and available. Letting the body open as an offering to God. In this moment, focusing on that opening. Putting the hand on the heart and noticing if the heart has been pulled forward or if it is still in a protection place of any kind. Focusing and saying, yes, I am willing in this moment to let go into God. Take this heart, take this mind, take everything. Use it for love. And breathing into the belly. Inviting all the love to come in through every organ, being filled with light, filled with love. Breathing. Surrendering the hips and thighs, the knees, calves, ankles, and feet. Surrendering everything into the hands of God. Not wanting to keep anything in separation. Surrendering all the energy bodies into the hands of God. Surrendering the emotional body into the hands of God. No longer willing to have the emotional body run by the mind, by fear. No longer willing to agree with the made-up perceptions of anger and suspicions, fears of all kinds, worry, all defenses surrendered, willing for the emotional body to express the truth of God, harmony and peace, compassion and joy. Everything surrendered into the hands of God in this moment. Inviting this divine alchemy of love's healing, inviting it, having that choice to invite love's healing. And breathing in this moment fully and deeply. And affirming that here in the infinite circle of love we are one. There's no separation here in the truth of love. There is no separate identities, no separate journeys, no separate lives, no separate purpose. All the divine, all one, affirming love. And breathing and affirming that here this sanctuary is filled with love. Nothing else exists. This universe is all of love. Whatever has been thought of as some kind of separation is not even existing. The willingness to accept the truth of love, and affirming that here there is only one presence. It is the presence of God, the life force of God, and within this life force we live and move and breathe as one, allowing the divine breath, divine movement to be the life force of God, opening. Here in this divine life force of God, there is nothing to protect, nothing to defend, nothing even to know, just love. Harmony. Allow this prayer to permeate into your being. What does that mean, permeate? It's to let and invite the energy of love to permeate and completely devour everything of your being. To let it pour into your heart and take it over. Take it over with love and with healing and with grace and with light. The willingness to let all perceptions of thinking go, all perceptions of identity with the body, letting that all go, and just focusing on the heart. When you focus on the heart, the mind can't be active thinking about the body. So then you're always aware of where your focus is. Even if you're not aware of thoughts, you're aware of where your attention is. And letting that attention be in the heart. When I feel this pain inside, and I find nowhere to hide. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. This sorrow now imprisons me. Somehow I need to be set free. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Heal me of my hurt and fear. Reveal the face of God so near. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Safety of a mother's care, for Jesus it was always there. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. As I move toward the light, defend me from the dark of night. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Thank you for the love you give. In compassion for your Son I live. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. When I feel this pain inside, and I find nowhere to hide, it is a blessing to find nowhere to hide. That is part of the grace of healing, is that you can no longer find a place to hide. That you can no longer tuck away all the beliefs of separation into some secret place where you can draw from and stay in pain and suffering. Instead, the light is being shined so brightly that there is no place to hide. And then you can ask for love, for the mother's love to just rain on you. Let it wash everything into the cleanliness of light. The asking for that help. This sorrow now imprisons me. Somehow I need to be set free. Somehow. And the way of freedom is to surrender. The way of freedom is, I don't know how healing works, but I am willing. I am willing to shine the light on every misperception of limitation that I bring into the world. I am willing. I am willing. I am willing. As I move toward the light, the truth defends me from the belief of darkness and reveals the truth that there really is no darkness. There is only light. The rest is a made-up fantasy of a battle and is not worth your attention. The end of the battle into the truth of love. Over the mountains of despair, we will rise above. Over the heartache and the pain, upon the wings of love. The healing of our savage heart, gently by the dove, miraculously transforming us upon the wings of love. Terrible mistakes we think we've made, regrets we've undergone. Sometimes the hopelessness makes us forget the sun at dawn. All delight and joyousness, the tender mercies of Jesus, who carries our burdens upon the wings of love. Allowing the burdens to be carried on the wings of love. But they must be surrendered. They must be identified and surrendered. How can you surrender what you're not aware of? How can you surrender what you keep hidden and go into a trance? The beauty of surrender is I am willing to see everything that I've made up and surrender it into the hands of God. And that's where the divine alchemy is. It isn't in self-healing. It is in relinquishment, letting go of what's been known and what's been perceived as your life, your world, everything in it. Relinquishing time, relinquishing levels and degrees and progress and non-progress and everything. Take it all. Take it all. Fever of love is that burning, letting the fever of love take you, being happy, being of welcome to the fever, allowing the fever of love to burn through whatever's been held as separation, inviting it. The fever of love here I want to consecrate with the truth of love. Forever I must love. The fever of love we must consecrate and give worth to each other, forever loving each other in the truth of the holiness of God. Let's all, beloveds, unite in this current of love with all divine beings in the hearts and surrendering our minds. Coming into the heart, we arrive at the truth. Humility and forgiveness are the doors to the altar of love. We simply pay attention, no hooking in the personal, as we extend our hands to each other, holding each other in support of the truth. My Father and my Mother, please help me in this journey of love, to be a child of yours and to remember the truth of love and perfection. As you turn, you will find the truth that you will forever be in the truth of love with all divine beings. Oh, my Queen Mother, I accept your blessing. I accept your blessing to be in my heart as I learn to love here, as I walk in this journey of remembering. Never to fall down again, but to affirm the light of the true vision. Please show me the way of the path of love. I ask all the angels to help me in this journey of love, of the truth of love of all divine beings. I feel joy, I feel joy, I feel joy in my heart. Oh, my Father, I thank you for giving me your hand as I walk in this journey of love. You give me your hand to bring me out of this illusion of darkness. My Father, here I give you my life and my heart. I surrender to you. As I walk this journey, which will end in the realization of oneness, you are the one who holds me as I leave this world of illusion. You support me. You show me the path for me to be able to move forward with humility and firmness and offering love to all beloveds. It is a time for union and a time for concentration. It is a time for purifying the truth of the heart. Oh, my Queen Mother, my Divine Mother, you are always with me as I return to the truth of oneness. Allowing this prayer to echo in your heart, to vibrate through every cell, through every molecule of your being, that this is what you want, is for the journey to be of remembering. And to recognize that that's all that there is. And then, in the gloriousness of remembering, you realize there never was even a journey. That all along, there was only love. And then you never left the heart of God. And the gladness of that truth. The beautiful offering of love that comes in so many forms. Everywhere you look, everywhere you put your attention, you can see a divine teaching if you are open to it. Everything in this world can be used by the Holy Spirit of love to teach. Everything can be used to help your service of remembering if you are willing to come into a place of stillness and want to see what is being offered in every moment. Now, this can't be seen when you have a perception of purpose in your life that is separate. So when you have a task that you think you're doing, or you have an agenda of some kind, you're not available for the teaching because your mind has gone back into a trance that is not available. So the calling is, where am I? And what am I here for? What is the purpose of this moment? What do I truly want right now? What is this for that I'm moving in? What is the dedication of this? How is it serving my remembering? How is it serving humanity's remembering? Am I connected? Am I purposeful? Or am I in my own world of I do things my way for my way? That is always the question. So our beloved Hafiz offers another element of this shaking to wake everybody up. And this is what the Holy Spirit is always doing. The Holy Spirit is always shaking. When you go into a trance, there will be a shaking because you're not paying attention. You are back asleep. And your soul, the soul, is wanting to wake up. And so the Spirit of love is answering that call and is shaking so that you will pay attention to what is being offered in the moment. So here's our beloved Hafiz shaking. We add to ourselves or detract. So this is the divine teaching that I've often spoke of, that there is no neutral. Your car may have a neutral gear. There is no neutral in the journey of remembering. There's no neutral in your life. You are either adding or detracting. And it's to recognize that you are never neutral. You are either saying no to love, or you are saying yes, show me the way. I'm available. There's no neutral. Every time you open your mouth and let a sound out, you alert the prey of the ego. And who is not hunting because of some hunger? What you seek may run in different ways, or people you know may begin to snarl within when they see you coming, in the belief of battle. We add to ourselves or detract whenever we speak. Our words turn into an entity and a magnetic field someone has to reckon with. I have found it is best to be on good terms with as much as one can, controlling the notes from the flute from the body that can rise. Yes, we add to ourselves or detract in some ways with each movement. I have increased my worth so much, a treasury I have become, that I hope you loot. This is the same teaching. This is so beautiful because this teaching was in the 1300s. It's no different today. It's the same calling of the same ego-based identity that refuses to pay attention to whether there is something detracting or something being added to of love. There is no neutral. You may think that there's a neutral when you're in your mind thinking what you think and thinking that you're running your life. You may think that that's neutral, but it's not neutral. It is a voice of fear that is saying, I want to add to the suffering of the world. I want to join the suffering of the world. We add to ourselves or detract whenever we speak. Our words turn into an entity and a magnetic field someone has to reckon with. This is so profound and such a deep learning because it allows you to see the deeper connection of everything and the willingness to see honestly whether you are detracting or adding to the healing or the misery. When you are speaking words or thinking thoughts, because it's to remember that the only advantages of words is that you actually get to see what you're thinking. You get to have a deeper awareness that what you're thinking is coming out of your mouth. Those thoughts are coming as what you believe in. There is not a thought that you have that is not coming from a belief. It is either the belief of union, the belief of love, not that you have a knowing of love or are in that divine wisdom, but you are putting your faith in love and you're wanting to serve love. So your words are coming from your belief, your faith that you want to serve love. And the words come from there. Or the words come from the belief that you are separate, that you have to protect yourself, that you have to defend something, that you have to make something, which everything that you think you are making is part of a defense when you're believing in a separate state, separate life, separate identity. So the words can really be your guide. They can be your guide to what you're thinking. If you're not willing yet to be aware of your thoughts, you can certainly be aware of the words, because they're coming from the same place. They're not coming from someplace else. You're not just picking up a book and reading from it when you're in a conversation with someone, or you're thinking about somebody, or you're making a statement of something that you think you know. It's not neutral. And this is a great revelation to recognize that it's not neutral, because then you have the opportunity of joining consciously what you truly want. You're no longer in a trance, just saying words. But we add to ourselves or detract whenever we speak. Our words turn into an entity. An entity that is either offering love. An entity could be an angel, or an entity could be a dark shadow, an encouragement of slavery, an attack. An element of suspicion. It can have a lot of different elements to it, but it is an entity. And for you to see the entity is extremely helpful, or to see it as an entity, because then you're much closer to having ownership of what you're choosing, instead of, I'm in a trance and it doesn't make any difference what I say, I'm just saying whatever I want. There's another beautiful teaching from Hafiz that has been offered several times, which is, I don't want to look on anything without seeing the truth of the beloved. I don't want to speak anything, and I don't want to look on anything without seeing the truth of the beloved. This is an intention. This is a purpose. This is a choice. This is a commitment. This is a devotion. I don't want to look on anything or speak of anything that is not to convey the truth of the beloved. Ever. Ever. Our words turn into an entity and a magnetic field someone has to reckon with. Every word and every thought that is coming from your belief, whatever it is a magnetic field that someone has to reckon with. Because it has intention. It has a purpose behind it. And the way of healing is to recognize the intention or the purpose behind it, so that you can make a clear choice of either affirming love or affirming slavery of humanity in the belief of separation. So many beloveds ask the same question in the longing to remember, which is, I want to be of purpose. I want to know my purpose. I can remember asking that. I want to know my purpose. As if the purpose had some physical manifestation necessarily. But it doesn't. It doesn't have a physical manifestation. The form is the illusion that can be used to carry as the vehicle either the love or the belief in slavery, the belief in separation, That it's only the form that's being used. The purpose, everyone's purpose, is to remember the truth of love completely. That's all that there is. It doesn't matter what form. It doesn't matter whether you're at work, not at work, walking, sleeping, taking a bath, cooking. It doesn't matter what the doing is. The doing is either the vehicle of love, of harmony, of peace, or it is the vehicle of slavery and attack. There's no other. There's only two choices. There's no neutral. You can't be neutral. And your thoughts are never hidden, because they take on an entity and they go into a magnetic field, and someone has to deal with it. You also have to deal with it, because the belief that there are neutral thoughts and that you're not at the effect of them is made up. It's false. You are at the effect of what you're thinking, of your beliefs. And it's not about trying to control them. It's about, what am I believing in? Where am I choosing? There's a temple here of love, and over here is a cemetery. Where am I going? What am I choosing? Am I walking into the temple of love, or am I stepping into the cemetery? The belief of death and fear, and under a disguise, because the death and the fear is not that obvious. It doesn't come as that obvious. It comes as personal agendas. It comes as the seeking of something to take your attention and distract you from yourself. The seeking of pleasure. The seeking of pleasure is always the wanting to get away from the pain that you believe is within you. But it never works. Now, how many lifetimes are you deciding? You're signing up. It's kind of like signing up for a cruise. You're signing up and saying, yes, I'd like to do 10 more lifetimes of pain and suffering and seeking pleasure, because I'm not done with pleasure yet. I'm still very fascinated by the addictions, and I still want those. I'm not willing to trust the teachings of love that say that there's nothing to gain in seeking something temporary outside that is going to satisfy for a little while, some respite, but that I truly want to walk over to the temple. I want to be in that devotion. I have two elements that are pressing right now. One is the teaching of Jesus when he walked the earth, that when he was in the synagogue and someone said to him, "What are you doing here?" "I am with my Father." And people interpreted that as his arrogance instead of the truth. I'm with my Father. And the other element is of teacher, that when he was a little boy, his family lost him, and they found him in the neighborhood church when he was 2 or 3 years old. And they after they were so glad to find him, they said, "Why did you run away? Why did you leave?" And he said, "I had to come and be with my father." This is in everyone's memory, but it has to be shaken up. It has to be woken up. Get out of the trance and into the realization that your journey is to come home to the truth, to the light. It's not a physical journey, even though you are in a physical body. It isn't a physical journey. It's the journey of the heart. It's the journey of intention. It's the journey of purpose. And yes, you will discover that when you wake up, then there wasn't a journey because you were already there. But while you believe you are separate and you are in a trance, it's to use the journey to its fullest capacity, only to save time. And it's only because you believe in time. It's not really that you have to hurry up, but time is where your suffering is. Time is where your belief of battle is. And so to use time for its only divine purpose is to dedicate each day, each moment to that purpose. To either recognize whether you're walking into the temple or you're walking into the cemetery, because you don't have any other choice. There's no neutral bakery in the middle. There's no neutral Costco in the middle. It's the sanctuary, the temple, or it is the cemetery. There's no other choice. That's not gloom and doom. That's just, it's either the ego or it's love. It's not, there isn't a neutral space in between that you're somehow making up that you think is different from the ego, pain, and suffering. There isn't. I have found it to be best to be on good terms with as much as one can, controlling the notes from the flute from the body that can rise. What Hafiz is asking in this beautiful lyric of love is to recognize that every thing that's coming out of your mouth is coming out of a flute and from the body, but that as much as one can to pay attention and control, not control out of fear, but control and say, what is this for? What am I promoting? What am I offering in this moment? The more that you offer the truth of love, and you're offering the temple of love, the more you begin to recognize that offering doesn't go anywhere, in the sense that it isn't being given away. It is a self-offering. It is an offering of love to yourself, because what you are offering to humanity, to the universe, you are. You are the universe. You are the divine. And when you offer that, you're expanding your consciousness to more clearly see that there's only one. And you are opening to that expansion by offering love, by offering harmony and peace. And it's always then within you, because you can't lose love. You can't give away love. You offer love and it expands into all creation. And your awareness expands. your awareness and your capacity for love expands and expands and expands because you are so wanting to offer love.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want a single word to come out of your body that is not expressing love. Now you can't fool this. You can't, this is not the ego strategy of put a smile on your face and say whatever you think you want to say while you don't have the intention of offering love. You could have a smile on your face till the cows come home, saying nice things, pretty things, acceptable, socially acceptable things, and they will mean nothing. Nothing except that you have offered the same cemetery again, except you just did it with a smile on your face. Because the intention was not the holiness of wanting to offer love. It is all in the intention. It has nothing to do with the smile on your face or the prettiness of the words. It has to do with the intention that is running those words, that is carrying those words. I was shown once a very profound awareness. I was singing with other beloveds, singing hymns, singing praise of love and God, singing teachings. And I saw the words being carried to all of the universe, to the Divine Mother, to the grace of God, because of the intention of wanting to offer the prayers of love. And it humbled me so deeply because it showed me the power of intention, of what can be created when you have the intention to offer love. Because this is creation. This is the divine orchestration, the divine love being permeated into the universe. And this, you have the choice. Because this is truly who you are. You are the creation of love. And are you offering a creation, or are you offering a false idol? That is for you to be wanting to be aware of. Wanting to not utter a word. I find it best to be on good terms with as much as one can, controlling the notes from the flute from the body that can rise. Wanting the words that come from the flute to fill the universe with divine creation. Now, when you're offering these words of love with this intention that is what you truly want. You truly want to only offer love. You are in that offering, and that offering becomes your healing. That actually becomes the healing itself. There isn't anything attached to it like, aren't I good, aren't I special, aren't I with it? No. It's just the love that can't be held, that has to be offered.
Oh.
That has to be given, has to be expressed. And in that expression of love, the heart is healing. Because the heart is drenched with the offering. Drenched. Not the ego perception of, I'm really together, I'm really good at this, no. It's just the balm of love that is healing the heart, that is healing all madness, all insanity. And you're welcome the drenching. And most of the time the drenching is a surprise, because everything that you're focused on is offering love. There's no giving to get. There's no hidden agenda of, I'm supposed to do this. Here, let me see if I've got a checklist of how this works. There's got to be a formula. Okay. Offer love, check. Look good, check. Look spiritual, check. You can toss that list away. It doesn't work. It's just another detour. Because love is calling you to be in a more exquisite divine awareness of what it is that you're joining and what it is that you're offering. What is it for? Now the ego will take this and make it about a stern taskmaster. All right. Like a drill sergeant. Be good. No. There's no taskmaster. And this is what, in a way, becomes the mysteries of healing. The mysteries of healing that the ego can't figure this out. Because the ego wants to believe that there needs to be a taskmaster. And that there needs to be rules and regulations about things, and this is how things work. But all that the Holy Spirit is asking, all that love is asking each beloved to remember and to come home to remembering is to choose. And there is no taskmaster that is standing next to you saying, you better choose right. Are you choosing? What are you doing? No. There is no taskmaster. This comes from a choice of love. This is the beginning of learning to love, is what you truly want. That you truly want to offer only the truth. And that you're not clear what that might be, but luckily you're open to the divine truth of love through teachings, through meditation, through prayers, through your intention. When you want the flute to be filled with love and you want to deliver love, you will deliver love because it's what you want. And when you want it, all the divine inspiration comes pouring through because there's no resistance. It's what you've called up. It's what you've called to come through and come forth. You want it to be love. You want it to be nothing else. You have no more desire to have a separate agenda of, I'm going to make a separate world and I want it to be thus. Or at least the separate agenda is not prevalent in that moment that you truly want to offer love. And there is no one that is not available to this, because it has nothing to do with anything other than your yes. It isn't how you're made up, how you're programmed, it's all the same. Everyone is carrying the same program of separation. It's not special, it's not different, it's all the same. The only thing that makes it seem different is your identity of it. What you believe you have made, and that you hold it as special and difficult and different. There is no difficulty in healing. This I promise. There is no difficulty in healing. It is what you want that is the key. But what you want is not a question that you ask once a year on New Year's to kind of set up your resolutions for the year. Asking what you want is an everyday, and a sometimes every moment relationship. Because when you ask yourself what you want, you are bringing yourself back into alignment with your true purpose. It's because you don't want to go to sleep. Because you don't want to be in a trance. So it's kind of like a gentle, come on, pay attention here. What is it that you want again? Yes, that's right, I do. I want love. And am I paying attention to it right now? Is this what I'm offering? Is this what I'm thinking about? It's imperative to recognize that the ego is not stupid. It is to be aware that the ego should be respected because it is able to shape change and change things all the time. It's not to be afraid of it, it's just to be respectful of the power that you have given to it, to a false identity. And in that respect, you don't take it for granted. You don't pretend that when you like something and you decide that this is how you want things to be, that isn't the same thing as openly hating. That they're different. They're not different. They're the belief in separation and the belief that you have a separate world that you want to run yourself, and that you want your identity and your program to be adhered to. But then nothing changes. There's no healing possible, because there's a game that's being played with the mind that says, no, this is different. It's like what's recognized in the world as abuse, where things are given different degrees of unlovingness. So everybody has the agreement, 99.9%, that this kind of abuse is intolerable. This is the real abuse over here. But then, in the belief of levels and degrees, of which there are none in the truth of love, the ego starts giving compromises and giving latitude and exceptions. And this is not so bad. This is acceptable. Where you're just thinking of someone with a judgment, That's not the same thing as this abuse down here. This is not the hatred and the murder and the savagery of what is not acceptable. No, this is made to be acceptable because it has different levels. But in the truth of love, all of this is hatred. All of this is all the same because it's not the truth of love. It's not a condemnation, it's just that it has no love in it. It's not a condemnation, but it also is not to be perceived as legitimate because it has different levels. And the mind uses those levels and degrees to make acceptable that what I'm thinking about, which I'm thinking about what time I'm going to go to work tomorrow. Okay. Who is the you that is thinking about what time you're going to work tomorrow? And who is the you that is going to work? And who is the you that is in agreement with time and that you are in control of it? This is all the games of the ego. Thy will be done. Show me the way. I don't know what's most helpful. I'm willing to follow. I'm willing to step out of this world of time and follow the rhythm of love, of what is most helpful. But when you feel that resistance to that, it's because there is a distrust that says, I'm not putting my trust in God when it's my life that has to be run. Somebody has to be the timekeeper. Mm-hmm. Somebody has to be the decider, and I have decreed that it is me. But in that decree that it's you, you can't enter the truth of love. You can't offer love. You can't offer love and be that love. You can't be open to love because you are the decider. And you've given the world all of these degrees and levels of acceptable control. But what is it that you want? That's why the question is so essential. What is it that you want? Because you're not going to remember the truth of love, and you're not going to be able to offer love when you are making a world of degrees and levels and differences that you think are acceptable and you have accepted. Those aren't acceptable. Those are off limits. I'm not a murderer, not an attacker, not recognizing that every thought, every perception of separation, of I like this, I don't like this, I'm making this decision, I'm doing this, I'm figuring this out, I'm deciding on this, I think this about this person, I think this about this. It's all going to the cemetery. It's not going to the temple. And it's the willingness to recognize what is running. Every time you open your mouth and let a sound out, you alert the prey. You alert the prey. What is the prey? The prey is the ego. You alert the egos that may be in different bodies, may not be, but you alert them that, okay, we're on the same page. I'm alerting the prey, I'm alerting the untruth, I'm alerting pain and suffering. All right, we're together. And who is not hunting because of some hunger? In the belief of separation, everyone is believing in hunger. Everyone is believing that there is not enough, and that you aren't enough, and that you are not whole and complete, And when you believe that you're not whole and complete, when you put your faith in that, you are living through the belief of being hungry, hungering for fullness, hungering for worth, hungering for rest, hungering for acceptance. And all of the hunger comes together constantly to support itself with the agreement. But to step out of this belief of hunger, this belief that there is something missing, that everything is not whole and complete and beautiful and harmonious and peaceful already within as the oneness. It's just the call to more pain, the call to more agreement of falsehoods. There's a beautiful teaching. Holy child of God, when will you learn that only holiness can content you and give you peace? Only the truth. Only holiness can content you and give you peace. Every once in a while this song comes to me, just the one line, looking for love in all the wrong places. Mm-hmm. Because there isn't love in where you're looking, in your agendas, in your strategies, in your outside perception that if you fix your world outside in a certain way that you have decided is right, that will bring you to a place of peace. Or if you buy the right things, or if you focus on what you want to buy, or focus on what you're going to get, or focus on anything outside, you're not going to find peace there. You're going to find more of the same disturbance, because everybody's hungry, because the hunger is running. The hunger. When in any lifetime have you ever found peace through anything that you've either achieved or gotten? Nobody can answer that, because it's not possible. No achievement in the world can ever bring you to peace. No getting anything can ever bring you to peace, because it's not possible. It's more of the same illusion. And now you're being called to offer only love as a way of dismantling the strategies of the ego that are trying to get things outside. Instead, you are offering peace, you're offering love, you're offering harmony through your thoughts, through your words, through sometimes your actions, but it's coming from the intention of what you want to give, what you want to offer. And then it expands your heart, because when you want to offer love, you are that love. And you expand into a deeper awareness of the enormity of love, the depth of love, the love that has no bottom, that has no capacity to be held in any space. But how can you offer that love unless you are participating? It is your participation. It is your offering. What is this for? I am either expanding or detracting. I am either offering the cemetery or the temple. There's no other choice. And only you can question what you are making. There are no neutral thoughts. In the beautiful teaching, let me remember what my purpose is. If I forget my goal, I can be but confused, unsure of what I am, and thus conflicted in my thoughts and my actions. To recognize that you are conflicted, that you are confused, is one step toward healing. It is not a condemnation to recognize that you are confused or you are unsure. Conflicted, confused is from the ego always, 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 always. There is no confusion in love. But to recognize that you are conflicted or confused is a step toward redirection, is a step toward healing. But if you're not even willing to recognize whether you're conflicted or confused, there's no possibility of recognizing what's in the way. There is just the determination to be right. No one can serve contradicting goals and serve them in any way of wholeness. It's not possible. You cannot serve two masters. You can't serve the cemetery and serve the temple. It's not possible. But you have the power of this choice. Nor can the function be without deep distress and deep depression. All the sense of distress and depression comes from the belief of conflict. There is no depression, there is no upset, nothing in offering love. Because it's not personal. And that is the key. It isn't personal. When you're offering love, you're offering the totality of the universe. You're not offering your opinion, you're not offering your version of it, you're not offering something that you're going to get a high from, of aren't I good. You're offering what is going to be most helpful for this beloved, and you are the flute that is offering love. And as you allow yourself to be that flute, that vehicle of that love, that delivery of that love, you are in a deeper awareness of the universal truth of love. You have joined more fully into the universal truth of love. It is the healing that you are asking for, is by offering this love. And once that love is offered, it has nothing to do with you anymore. It has nothing to do with you of where it goes, what it means, how it plays out, how it looks. There's no asking someone, how did you like that? How did you like what I offered you? Imagine offering love and then calling somebody up and saying, how is that now? I offered you God's love, but I'd like a report on how you felt. How did you feel about that? How'd that feel to you? Well, let's say it's not quite that abstract, because love can be offered through, and anything can be used to offer that love. So let's say you offer someone a piece of pie. But it's not about the pie. You truly, the intention is that you feel called to offer love. And the vehicle that's being used is a piece of pie. Or it could be a shoelace. Or it could be, it doesn't matter. But you're wanting to offer love. You're called to offer love without attachment, without personal identity. Where here comes the temptation. You offer the piece of pie, and you have to know whether they like it or not. You have to know whether they enjoyed it or not. Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy it? Why would you need to know if they enjoyed it? You offered love, it was given, it's let go. What is that for? It is for self-satisfaction. It is because you are still believing that to give something means you have to get something in return. And you're not recognizing that the offering of love is the fullness of everything. And that you can't give away love. You can't offer love and lose love. That's only the world. In the world, you give something away and you don't have it anymore. When you give the piece of pie, but your intention is to offer love, it has nothing to do with the pie. It's that you don't need anything of satisfaction of knowing that they appreciated your gift. The belief of the need for the appreciation is still the self-serving attachment that I have to get something because I'm going to be without it. And that's not really offering love. It's wanting to be reciprocated, given back, because you believe you gave something away and that there is not an abundance of this offering because it became personal. It became, I need to know how this was and I need the appreciation. Or I need to know that you used it. You give someone a hat. Are you using the hat? Is it working? You need the gratitude. You need to know that it's being used because you believe something has been given away and that you don't have it anymore. This is not the offering of love. The offering of love is full, complete, has no beginning and no end. And it is impersonal. It is not to satisfy the ego identity with getting something back. Giving and getting belong to the ego. Offering of love and the fullness and abundance is not personal. It is the universal offering of love. No expectations, no needing reciprocation, no needing to be given gratitude, no need to be fulfilled in some way. It's all love and there's no end to it. There's no limitation of it. And it's the willingness to keep choosing to offer the temple rather than the cemetery. The willingness to question what is running, what is it for, and what do I truly want? I want to remember love. Let me remember my true purpose. Let me remember that my true purpose is to serve love, serve God without expectations, and to accept the truth of holiness in every thought, in every word that comes out of the body, to want it to be the vehicle of love. And to let that bless and expand and heal the heart, because it will. That's the guarantee. It will. So in this moment, if there is a question, yes, darling.
I'm struck very deeply by what you're saying, especially because I have a little background in what's called tantric sexuality. And so the idea of that is one gives, it flows through the other, and it comes back. Then from what you're saying, you're giving to get.
Right.
So
It's a very subtle place.
what you're saying is, how would you create a diagram? This is just like this to God, the vertical?
When you are actually offering love, there is no vertical or horizontal, and there is nothing else. You don't lose, you're not actually, it's not really leaving. It's expanding. You don't give anything, you're offering what is. So there is no need to get, because it's already all here. But it's actually the most amazing part of offering is that in offering, you as you're still believing in a separate self, are receiving instantaneously.
So how do you fit into that we are just a flute? And that's why I was thinking
Well,
the
that's just
vertical,
the symbolic.
that it's coming through us, that we're not doing anything.
Right. It's still, that's just symbolic,
Okay.
to be the flute, because to be the flute is to acknowledge and to be aware that there is no separate you, personal, so the body, identity. Once you become the flute, it's pretty impersonal. It doesn't have a personality. The flute doesn't have its own personality, doesn't have its own agenda, it's the vehicle.
It's played like that.
Yeah, it's just allowing, but it doesn't really have to do with being vertical. It just has to do with that you are saying yes to that universal love, and you are offering it because you are trusting that there is no scarcity. There is nothing, that you're not really offering something that is being parsed in any way. You're offering because you can't help it, because there's so much. And the more that you offer, the more that you become aware of the abundance. But the giving to get is a very subtle, sometimes not so subtle, but often very subtle place of expectation of that there is something. So within tantric sex, it can be the subtlety, which is not its original intention. It's to the original intention of tantric was spiritually to recognize the divine, the oneness, and to open to that melting of the divine feminine, divine masculine, or the same, whatever, but the wholeness of one, and that there is nothing to get, and there is nothing to really give. It's offering. It's just, it's hard to explain, but it's not, there is no giving and getting. It's all the same. It's like this. While you believe that you are you and the other is them, you're seeing two bodies, two individualities, and in that belief of separation, you're already set up to believe that they have something you don't have, which is not true. and you don't have something that they don't have. You're just opening to what is and offering the truth, love itself, the divine movement of love itself, the energy of love. But it isn't the them and you anymore. It's no different than if someone is playing an instrument, a flute, and you hear this music, and the thought comes in some way that it's not you, that it's them playing the flute. Well, you're not receiving the offer that this is all oneness, that this is you. This is you playing the flute. You are every musician. You are everyone. And to accept that is the offering.
I understand this theoretically, really, but there's a place where, as I'm counseling couples, and take it out of the arena of sexuality, she says, you're not giving me enough.
But see, in the world, that's always going to be that way. Mm-hmm. And where a beloved is in their journey is not ours to, question in that way. But the ultimate truth, if you truly want to remember, it's that no true seeker of the truth is going to be saying, you're not giving me what I'm needing, because it's not possible. The seeking has to stop, and the recognition has to be, everything is already here within.
Yeah.
Now, many beloveds are not available for that, but that doesn't mean that you're not holding that truth.
Is it that there's just really no words that can truly describe what you're saying?
No.
Because I can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
No, truth can't be described.
I'm sorry, what?
Truth can't be described.
Mm-hmm.
Wholeness can't be described. Love can't be described. That's why we use symbolic things like the flute, or things to help see it through a lens of it's closer.
Mm-hmm.
It's all faith. When you accept the teaching, I have no needs, I am complete, I am whole, there is nothing missing, then it's accepting that truly from the deepest place of that I'm going to live this. I'm going to live this in every moment. When the mind wants to say, wait a minute, I need that, or I want that, or I'm trying to figure things out, I have no needs. Everything is already within. Where am I? What am I honoring in this moment? Where am I putting my faith? Where am I putting my trust?
So then at that point you let go of the words and you drop into experience.
Yeah. But it's not even experience, it's intention. It's not even the wanting of the experience can be another trap of, I want to feel this, I want to experience it, rather than everything in me says yes, and then I rest.
Thank you.
I don't try to get something out of it or figure it out in any way.
Try to get something from truth.
Yeah, get something from truth. Have a deeper understanding of it, or whatever. But it's just faith, it's just trust that this is where I'm saying yes to, and I rest there.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, darling. So in this moment, the willingness to find the yes. I only want to remember and offer love. nothing else. And I rest in this yes.